What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another Evo 10 vlog. I am honestly right now not in the best mood, and I'll explain why. I went on a cruise this morning in this car. I had the hood strapped down with a bungee cord because for some reason the latch, this latch right here, got misplaced. Bungee cord ended up breaking and the hood flew open. And let me show you all the damage on the hood I just got repaired. That, and then when it flew open really, really fast, and it got caught by the hood dampeners. So it flew up into there, and all that pressure ended up separating the edge of the hood. So basically what that means is if I can't find the hood latch, if the painter can't find the hood latch, I don't have a hood latch for the hood, and now my hood is pretty messed up. So if anyone has the Evo 10 hood for sale, let me know, because this one's kind of useless now. On a positive note though, we are going to be doing some pretty dope mods to the Evo 10 today. The headlights we have on the car are the typical like Audi style headlights, and we're going to be doing some crazy color changing stuff. It's going to be pretty similar to the headlight setup we have on the FRS. So this boomerang right here, let me turn it on actually, is going to be color changing, and we're going to be putting demon eyes in there as well. I don't think we're going to be doing any other mods. I may go to just like OEM HIDs. The bulbs we have in here right now are decent. They're LED bulbs and they're color changing, like demonized built into them, but we're going to be going to the lit lights demonized and the lit lights color changing boomerang. So I'm very, very excited to get all that stuff installed on this car. We don't have a bumper on the car yet, so it's going to be very easy to pull off the headlights. I haven't even got the parts in the mail yet, but tracking shows they will be delivered today. So I'm going to pull the headlights off the car right now, maybe pull one apart. We're going to have to pull the lens off of the headlight to do all the mods. Maybe pull one apart and just wait for the parts to come in the mail. So I'm going to pull off a bunch of the wiring on the back side of the headlight just so it doesn't get burnt. We do have to put it inside the oven to get the glue heated up to get the headlight lens off. That's how you do it. You can either use the heat gun or an oven. There's a few screws we're going to have to pull off, and then we'll throw it in the oven and pop this headlight lens off. I pulled the cap off, this cap right here, and there's so much wiring in there. So I'm just gonna leave all the wiring on the headlight. I don't feel like trying to figure out how that all goes back together. I'm sure I can figure it out eventually, but I'm just gonna leave it on there, and I kind of tucked it up so it doesn't droop down in the oven and catch on fire. So we're gonna throw the oven at 200 degrees. That should be plenty warm to get all that glue and the sealant heated up so we can get this lens off. So we're gonna leave the headlight in the oven for, I would say, about 10 to 12 minutes. That should be hopefully enough to get that glue loosened up and warmed up enough to get it completely separated. All right, we got the lens off. I'm gonna pop off this black shield right here, and then that should give us access to the boomerang. From here, I am gonna just wait until we get some parts in the mail from Lit Lights. I don't know what exactly we are replacing, what wiring we have to do, so I'm just gonna wait till that package shows up. For the time being, I ended up just pulling off the hood, just so I don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to strap it down without it falling or flying open. I did get a new map in from More Automotive, so we're gonna go data log the car real quick. It's running really, really good. Startup is good. This Optima battery is kind of shitty, so I should probably replace it. That's 2 Optima batteries in the last like 3 or 4 months that have gone bad on me, which is kind of weird. So like 3 hours later, we finally got the package in from Lit Lights. USPS was definitely slacking today, but we got it in. Let's rip this thing open. I gotta figure out what exactly we need to swap out with the boomerang. The demon eyes are always pretty easy because I've done it a million times, but let's rip it open and check out what is inside the box. 2008-2017 Evo 10 multicolor LED boards, Audi style for VLAN headlights. Dope. That's what we've got is the VLANs. And then here are the demonized, which is the universal kit. Both of these will be linked down below, as well as a set of headlights if you want to build a set of these for your own Evo 10. I'll link everything down below. My discount code for Lit Lights is Devin Niemela 15. It'll save you 15% off any one of these products. So if you want to help support the channel, pick up your stuff from Lit Lights. They're a huge sponsor of the channel. They've always been riding with me since like day one. I'll have everything linked down in the description box below. App setup. We should be able to get all that figured out pretty easily. What app do I need? LED hue app. Yeah, I already have that app for the FRS headlights. There's not really anything in this box, so this must be pretty easy. So we have some wiring with, it looks like LED boards. Look like some LED boards, 2 of those, and then a harness. I'm gonna spend some time. I gotta figure out what is going on, because on the FRS we had an actual replacement boomerang. On here it looks like just a little LED board as a replacement. So I gotta go through here, figure out what exactly we need to replace. Yeah. I got a little bit carried away and ended up completing one whole headlight, and I figured the way I do it this time is going to be a little bit different than I've made videos in the past. Usually what I'll do is I'll kind of learn with you guys on how to put something together or like modify a headlight, for example. What I did this time is I completely built one headlight, got it all figured out, and now I'm going to just run through the other headlight and show you guys every single thing you need to do to get your headlight like this. Quite a few things we did. This over here used to be clear like it is on that, and I decided to vinyl wrap that black. I put one of my Vossen decals on there. We have the color changing boomerang installed, we have the demonize installed, and last but not least we have installed OEM HIDs, and I hope they work. I wired it up how I thought it should go, and we should be good to go on the stock HIDs. I just pulled everything off my factory headlight right there. So I'm gonna throw this on the car real quick. Let's make sure everything works before I show you guys how I did all this. That's lit. Quite literally lit. All right, you can turn the lights in the shop back on now. So we just confirmed that everything works. The boomerang works fine, the demonize work fine, and the OEM SSS HIDs as well. So let's pull the other headlight off the car, and I'm gonna go through the complete thing with you guys, show you how I did all this, because that is sick. So the first thing we're gonna do is, of course, remove the headlight. There is a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, and a bolt right there. We're gonna grab our headlight. We're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes. Oven's at 200 degrees or like 150 degrees maybe. 10 minutes is plenty to loosen up the glue. I just realized my mic was off in that last clip, so what we had to do was we pulled the headlight out of the oven. There was 4 screws on the headlight lens holding it to the housing. We pulled those 4 screws off, and we pulled the lens off of the housing. From here, we have this black shroud we were gonna pull off, so there are 4 screws on this as well, 1 on each corner. Pop those 4 off, and then it'll give us access to the back side, like the internals of the headlight. First thing we're gonna be working on is swapping out the LED bulbs for this boomerang. It is extremely easy to swap out the LED drivers or the LED bulbs for the boomerang. They're under each one of these covers, and you guys will see here, this is all we're gonna be swapping out. There's 1 bulb there, 1 bulb there. So we're gonna pull off 2 screws on each of these guys and then flip it over on the back side. There'll be 1 screw holding the LED to this. We're just gonna swap them out and move on to the demonize. There may be a little bit of like glue or JB Weld holding this on, so just grab a flathead and pop it off. There's some double-sided tape down here. You can just rip that off, and as you can see, it runs over to this one. Same exact concept with this. And then up here where it connects to the circuit board, we no longer need these wires, so we can just snip them off right off the circuit board. So all this stuff right here we do not need. We can just throw that in the garbage. Actually, one thing I should mention is they are labeled. So this one right here, L1 and L2. And if you come over to the new stuff we got, it is labeled as well. As you can see, that one shows L1. So we're just gonna swap these out in place. And then this harness right here is gonna have to run out the back side of the headlight so we can connect that to the harness, which then runs to the car. I went ahead and double-sided taped that wire down just so it doesn't pop out and so you can't see it anywhere. So now we need to run this purple wire through the back side of the headlight. Since we are switching over to HIDs, we can pull everything out of here. I am running LEDs in here right now, but we don't need any of that, so we can pop it out. We're just gonna grab this purple wire and just stick it out the back for now. We can deal with the rest of it later. Next up is the demon eyes. On here, it's super simple. This bracket that is included with the demon eye bolts on to that hole there and that hole there on the projector. So it's literally 2 screws and you're done. Just stick the wiring out the back side like we did with the boomerang, and we can wire that up to the car. All right, we're finished up with the demon eyes and the boomerangs. I am going to vinyl wrap this guy right here black because I don't like how that clear looks. And then I'm gonna put my Boston decal on it to match that guy. And then from there, all we will have to do is the HID swap from the OEM headlight. If you don't have OEM headlights, just pick up like a set of aftermarket HID or LED bulbs. But I already have the OEM, and Mitsubishi OEM bulbs and ballasts are really, really high quality. So I'm gonna be running those. All right, so I got my OEM headlight here. We're gonna pull off the ballasts. We're gonna pull off this wiring connector. So I'm gonna cut it probably about 1 inch back. We need that wiring connector, and then pull off this back cap. And we're gonna need the igniter cord, which is inside the headlight, and the bulb itself, which is under this silver guy right here. We do have to drill a hole with a hole saw in the bottom of this headlight right here where the ballast bolts on. The hole saw size I'm using, I believe, is 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch hole saw. We're gonna drill a hole right in the center right there. While we still have all this stuff pulled apart, I'm gonna go ahead and run through and get all of the OEM headlight stuff connected, or the bulb and ballast connected. So this red and black wire right here that we cut off, they're gonna connect to this connector right here. So we're gonna cut this connector off as well on the VLAN headlight. Black is gonna go to the black wire, and then the blue is gonna connect to the red. And I'm gonna run this wiring through inside the headlight, come out right here, and connect it right to this connector on the ballast. All right, the hard part is done. All of the wiring is finished up. Now from here, it's just a matter of getting the headlight reassembled. So 4 screws go back on this black shroud to hold it down to the housing. And then the lens is gonna go on. When we put the lens on, we're not gonna put the screws in yet. We're gonna throw it in the oven for about 10 minutes, get that glue nice and warm again, and then we can screw the headlight back together. I would highly recommend zip tying up all of our wiring so it doesn't dangle down. You don't want this stuff to get melted or burnt up. So let's get this thing assembled, and then we can figure out all the wiring on the car. We got quite a bit of wiring to do. These are drivers for the demon eyes. I have all this other wiring sitting here. I'll show you guys how all that's done here in a minute. There's one more thing that I forgot to mention. So we do have to get all these wires through the back of the headlight, how it is right there. And they have to go through this cap. On that cap, there is a rubber seal. So I'm gonna cut a slot in the seal, stick both of these wires through. And then to make sure it seals up all the way, I'm just gonna fill the rubber, the back side of the rubber up where the wires run through with this ultra black gasket sealer, just so we don't have any leaks or condensation getting into our freshly built headlights. All right, let's move on to wiring. So this here is the wiring for the boomerangs. This is the controller for the boomerangs. It's pretty simple. We have 2 outlets here. We have two plugins. One goes to each headlight. This yellow is for blinkers. If you want the boomerang to be a blinker as well, you can plug that in to a blinker signal. I personally am not going to run it. I do have it like that on the FRS. So it's the boomerang and the stock turn signal are both flashing. I'm not going to plug that in, so we're not going to worry about the yellow wiring. This white wire right here is a daytime running light. We still have to connect that. What that is going to do is, say if you have your headlights off and your boomerangs are red, and you go to drive the car, as soon as you turn it on one click, it's going to turn it white, meaning it'll be legal to drive. It's probably pretty illegal to drive around with that like red or blue or some sort of emergency color. So we need to figure out where that white wire goes. This one right here is going to plug in to the controller. We can just do that now. Black is going to go to ground. Red is going to go to a 12 volt power source. That is all the wiring we need for the boomerangs. Let's set that off to the side. We got that figured out. We're gonna do that and the demonized at the same time. Demonized, same thing. We have a red 12-volt power, a black goes to ground. We have these two wires coming out of this box right here. These are gonna run to the drivers. So we're gonna plug that in, that's gonna run over, and that's gonna plug into the demonized wiring, which is coming out of the back of the headlight. That's pretty simple. So let's head over to the car and get to wiring. I think I'm gonna pull off my intake setup right here and my heat shield, try to get all the wiring tucked down in there. I did pull off this cover right here, which is the fusible link cover. This guy right here is the fusible link. Everything right here is a 12-volt power source. Ground, we can ground down there if we want. We can ground it here if we want. Plenty of places to ground the two wires to. So let's just tear this all apart and I'll show you guys exactly where I'm getting power from and where I'm grounding at. So far we have the power and ground done, and as you can see, I am making a mess of the shop. I ended up shortening up all the wires just to make it nice and clean. So I have the controller boxes mounted down there. The one white controller box is mounted on the bottom of that guy so you can't see it. And then the two power wires run to up there, grounds go to there. That's all finished up. Now we just have the two leads for the demonized, the two leads for the boomerang, and as soon as we get all that connected, we will be finished up. Well, everything is all finished up. I'll kind of show you the wiring job. It'll all be hidden by the intake. That's why I did it all down there. Let's throw this guy back on. So that's gonna sit there. Intake's gonna run here, cover everything. The only thing you'll see is these two little wires coming out the bottom of the fusible link box there. All the wires that go to the passenger side run across here and under the radiator support. So it's all nice and hidden. Last thing to do is just clean up the shop. A lot of these wires I made quite a bit shorter just to make it a lot cleaner looking. So clean up the shop, bolt on the headlights, put on the intake, and then we can make sure everything with the demonized and the boomerangs work. I'll show you guys all the apps you need to download onto your phone because it's all controlled through either an iPhone or an Android. All right, guys, we are 100% finished up. These things look so much better, I think, with that blacked out on the side. And of course, the Boston logo just adds a little touch. I'll probably run them like this a lot. Red, demonized, matches the red wheels, and then I'll probably run that red as well. Let me turn off the running light so you can see that red. Oh yeah, that looks so sick. It's kind of orange right now. I'll probably make it a little bit more red. But let's go over the apps you need on these lights. So for the boomerangs, you're gonna need LED hue. As you can see, it pops up right here as Evo X. You can do all the different colors, green, blue, yellow, and you can just grab the slider and do any color you want. So that's pretty sick. And then the demonized are controlled through magic light. So here you can just grab this guy, move it all around, do any color you want. Well, that is going to be it for today, boys. Everything I used in today's video will be linked down in the description box below. Remember, Devin Niemela 15 is the discount code for lit lights. It'll save you 15% on anything on their website. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions about the headlight build. Peace out. I'll see you in the next vlog.